Also, if you're watching this video, from what I've been told, it's a good idea to watch my videos at 2x, so that way they don't take so long to get through, because I tend to speak relatively slowly. You can still make out what I'm hearing, or make out what I'm saying really easily. So that's going to be my suggestion. If you're looking at the time and thinking, this isn't going to end, is it? You can help yourself. What's going on, people? So sometime last night, who was it? Jumpman Eric. He started a little group chat thing on Instagram and started seeing these messages pop up. And I was like, what is all this about? I'll deal with it in the morning, because I'm an old man. I go to sleep at a reasonable hour. And so then I look at it today, and I guess he wanted to get a little Funko live stream going on sometime next week, you know what I mean? So of course there will be a link to his channel and whatnot somewhere around here, probably in the description. But anyways, so he added a few people, and then a few people added a few people. And Kicknology, whose link will also be somewhere in this channel, or in this video, whatever, he was like, oh, well, let's get Shoes Up, Sleeves Down in here, because he's got a pretty good collection. And I'm thinking, like, have I really shown that many? Because I know I've shown a lot of other non-shoe things, but I didn't really feel like I had shown a lot of Funkos. But I was like, you know what? I mean, I do have a decent collection of them, right? I'm not going to lie. Though, to be fair, I will say that all of these that you're going to see here, McFly KOF, 100% responsible for this, right? He told me and then forced me to buy these. It wasn't me. But anyways, so I was thinking, like, do I really have that many? So I'm like, you know what? Let's figure this out. Let's find out once and for all. So I started pulling them out because, for one, these things take up space that I could reclaim for other things. And I've been wanting to put them in my little storage unit. So I figured, you know what? This is a good time to knock out this little collection video. So let's go ahead and do that, shall we? I'm going to start things off with this guy right here. This is the Undertaker, obviously. So the reason I start with him is because this is the first one that I ever got. I got him at, I think it was Comic-Con 2016, maybe? I mean, he wasn't like a special release or anything like that. I was just walking around and I saw that one. I was like, you know what? Everybody's always talking about these Funkos. If I ever see the right one, and I saw that, I'm like, you know, that's the one. That's the one I'm going to get. And for a while, that was the only one I had. Fast forward to now, it's a totally different story. Now, I have a couple of these that are in boxes for whatever reason. And so this one, okay, yeah. This is Hawkeye. This happened to be the only Funko that I've ever won. Actually, I won this from Jezzy, who I'll be doing a little live video with in a minute here. So I don't remember the whole situation, but sometime last year he had a giveaway, and that's how I got that. So that's like the in-game Hawkeye or whatever it was. Also, if you're watching this video, from what I've been told, it's a good idea to watch my videos at 2x, so that way they don't take so long to get through, and because I tend to speak relatively slowly, you can still make out what I'm hearing, or make out what I'm saying fairly easily. So that's going to be my suggestion. If you're looking at that time and thinking, this isn't going to end, is it? You can help yourself. So, okay, I'm not sure why he came in a protective box, but here's the Hostess Cupcake guy. So, whatever for that. I guess, I don't know, some of these I did get straight from the Funko factory or whatever that store is that they have. And some of them get shipped like that, but not all of them though, from what I've seen. Oh yeah, this is one of my favorites right here. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, who I also have his figure over there. And I was thinking that I was good. Okay, I got the Fiend, picked one up from, well, I ended up with two. Got rid of one today. But then I saw that they're doing the Ultimate Edition. It's got the jacket and some other stuff going on, and that's going to happen. So that's why I got rid of the second Fiend I had. And moving on, this year, Comic-Con didn't quite happen, but I like to walk away with an exclusive if I can. I got this one, and I got the Astronaut? No, I got the cape version for my mom, because, you know, she's into the Funkos too. I also blame McFly for that. But anyway, so those were mildly easy to get if you were patient, but they didn't last very long. And then here we have the Venomized Storm right there. I believe this glows in the dark, right? Yeah, it's a glow in the dark one, so that's pretty cool, right? There were a whole lot of those Venomized Funkos that were looking pretty good, but you know, self-control, man. That's like the only way you're gonna make it in this world. Like the collector world, that is. Ooh, man, this is... Opening these boxes kind of sucks, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, I am a big My Chemical Romance fan. I don't know if I've said that before because it seems like it's super irrelevant to bring up, but I am. And that's why I have this. That Danger Days soundtrack. Oh, it's not a soundtrack, but that album. That one is solid from end to end. And they got, what's his name? The guy from Mindless Self-Indulgence on there doing like the radio stuff or whatever. Solid stuff. And then we have this guy right here, the Energizer Bunny. So, I don't know. I think I went through, this is a flocked one, so that's kind of cool. I don't know if that's showing up, and I am very certain I'm not going to be putting pictures in on this video. There's a lot of them to do. But yeah, this was one of those ones where I was kind of just taking advantage of Black Friday, I think, or it might have been a Christmas sale. What is this? Okay. At some point, I also bought this, the Chupacabra. I mean, I vaguely remember buying it. Kind of. Yeah. Impulse buys, people. A lot of... That's why I say, like, patience. Just don't buy anything right up front sometimes. Just hold off, think about it, and then when you're sure, jump on it. Because a lot of this stuff doesn't move too quick. I don't know why I got that, but... Daria. This was a show that I was pretty into when I was younger, right? I mean, obviously I was more of a Beavis and Butthead kind of guy, but you gotta respect the spin-off once in a while. Actually, you know what? Let's get these things out of the way. We'll hold off on those. So, some of the stuff that's not quite your standard size or whatever. So first off, we've got this here. This is the Hulkbuster Iron Man. I don't remember what movie. Avengers, Age of Ultron. See, that's why it's on the package. But yeah, the Hulkbuster thing. I used to have that displayed on my music shelf. I mean, my movie shelf at some point. But, you know, that shelf broke, so basically now I don't have a movie shelf. I just have a stack of movies. But one day, they'll reclaim this spot. And also, there's this X-Men Wolverine with his motorcycle, right? So there's that. Get you guys a little shot for you. And what would a collection be without Bruce Banner and the Hulk, right? So this one's got the gray Hulk in there. I don't know how much truth there is to it, but I heard that they had him gray originally and then changed it to green because it was overall cheaper on the printing side of things. So if that's true, you know, go ahead and say, yeah, dude, that's true. If that's not true, go ahead and say, nah, dude, that's not true. All right, so moving on, we got this guy right here, big Masters of the Universe fan. I bought this while I was figure hunting for probably other, like the Masters of the WWE Universe thing, but I don't like to leave empty-handed during the figure hunts. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Got some New Day guys here with the Bootio cereal, which I never had. I mean, I think it had marshmallows in it. Maybe that's why I didn't have it. And I don't do marshmallows. You know, it's not me. And I have two because somebody bought me one as like a going away type gift or whatever, because they were like, oh, this is something you'd like. And obviously they were right because I already had one. But I didn't want to be like, well, I already have one. You know, you don't want to be too rude, right? And then, of course, you got to have the original, right? I think I got these at WrestleMania Access one year. Can't quite remember. It's been a lot of years that I bought a lot of things, and it really starts to blend together after a while. And then there's this, right? What is this? The Avengers Infinity War Thanos with Sanctuary 2. So, yeah, that thing. Just big for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Now we can finish off the Funkos. Okay, got the Tootsie Roll guy over here, the little owl. I don't know how many of you guys remember that. I do, because I'm, again, as I said, an older gentleman. You got the original Ant-Man style Ant-Man here. I don't know why I said it like that. It's clearly a better way to have said that. But anyways, there's that for you. This was this, okay. This was the year that I got through Comic-Con's Funko line, which is a hassle in itself. And I bought a bunch of random crap, so we'll probably be seeing a few of those things here. This I bought recently when I was picking up the Grape Fives, I want to say. And it was my first time being in a mall in a long time. So I walked around and I saw this and I was like, you know what? Let's get that. Why not? Venomized Hulk, right? I was talking earlier about how I like the Venomized guys. Quick little shot on the back there. There's a handful of them there. I think McFly has all of them, and well, all of those, and some of the more limited-ish ones. All right, so this is a kind of a group effort here. So joy and sadness, right? If you've ever seen Inside Out, you know what these guys are all about. But if you haven't, you should check it out because it's a pretty decent movie. There's a few more words in there that rhyme than I would normally say on purpose, so just overlook that. Got John Cena here, right? So I don't know, like I'm kind of, when it comes to John Cena, there are pros and cons, and it's like overall, like I don't dislike the guy, but I'm not like a fan of him, but I'm cool with him being around. I don't know. And this right here, the Undertaker from one of his past eras. I don't think it's the Ministry of Darkness, but it was, it's the Undertaker, right? I mean, you can't just be around for 30 years and be the same dude the whole time. I mean, unless you're the Brooklyn Brawler. Then again, he was a doink at some point, so I guess even he changed. Billy Idol. Now, this guy hasn't changed. He's been the same Billy Idol since, like, the dawn of time. I saw him a few years ago. And I don't mean that in a bad way, because some people, they lock in a good thing and they just ride it out. Then we got this, the Spider-Punk. I was actually wondering about this one the other day because I remembered wanting it, but I didn't remember if I actually bought it or not. But apparently I did. So I want to say that was an Entertainment Earth purchase, maybe. Another, not tag team. Well, I guess it was a tag team. But anyways, you got this right here, Macho Man and Hulk Hogan. So this was one of my earlier pop purchases as well. I mean, I don't know when these came out, but they've definitely been in the collection for a long time. What is this? This is Stinkor from Comic-Con 2018. That smell is strong on here. And that's probably why I had it wrapped up. I was not ready for it, people. I was not ready for it. Let's just sit that a little further than the others. All right. Gerard Way. So, I'm a big My Chemical Romance fan. Have I said that before? I feel like I have. Anyways, moving right along. So, I'm also a big cereal fan. This isn't necessarily one of my favorite ones, but I'm okay with it. I don't remember the last time I actually bought a box though, but if there was a box here, and I was hungry, I'd eat it, no problem. But it's just not a top tier cereal to me. Kool-Aid. I practically grew up on this stuff. Like, my uncle, he used to complain because, like, the way my mom had taught me to make Kool-Aid was the same way she made it. And he came over, he's like, your Kool-Aid is like syrup. It's so thick with sugar and stuff. I'm like, yeah, of course. As if that's like how that's supposed to be, because apparently to some people it's not. Anyways, here's the older Iron Man, right? Remember that guy from many, many moons ago. Let's see, another silver person. Got the Silver Surfer and his buddy Galactus, depending on when you're talking, anyway. So yeah, isn't there supposed to be a Fantastic Four movie? Well, I guess there was supposed to be a lot of movies coming around, but the world's in a weird place right now. But I wouldn't mind seeing a good Fantastic Four movie. Also, I wouldn't mind seeing the Demon Finn Balor come back once in a while, because that was kind of cool too. I got to see him live at, when was Dallas? 2016? Yeah, WrestleMania, NXT TakeOver Dallas. Fought Samoa Joe. And then we have this guy right here. I normally wouldn't have bought this because it just didn't stand out to me. But one year at Comic-Con, as I've told this story before, I was standing around and I happened to be looking at some other Toy Story things, and this guy was like next to me, like the picture from the movie or whatever. And someone was like, "Are you cosplaying as him?" And I'm like, I look at myself and I'm like, with the dark style joggers I had on, the tank top and like the hair, I was like, I could see why they said it, but I was like, no, I'm not. But I couldn't deny it. Elias, I don't know what happened to this dude. He must be injured, but he was definitely one of my favorite people. So this is something that I picked up for the music room, and you're going to see a handful of things like another thing. picked up for the music room because I like to have stuff in there that's music related, obviously, right? I mean, do I have to explain that? I feel like I don't. Another Ant-Man. This one's more modern. You can kind of tell in there you've got like the little Ant-Man or whatever, you know, the bite-sized Ant-Man. So that's kind of a cool thing. It fell out of the little case portion, but whatever, doesn't much matter. I'll deal with that later. Okay, got us another little duo here. I showed these guys off in an unboxing not too long ago for some odd reason. But yeah, Contra, right? You got these two guys. What is it? Bill and Bean, yeah. They're still like the weirdest names to me. I figured they'd have names like cool names, you know, like T-Bar and Mace. I say that clearly as a joke if you follow wrestling right now. So I don't know if you guys can see this guy or not. Rumor has it you can't, but just bear with me. There is a pop in this box. So there's that for you. Also, we got Rick James, another one on the music side of things. As a bass player, you know, like sometimes I'm a little more drawn to certain things, and he's one of those things. Also this, right? I don't know how many people out there watching this remember MTV as it was in like the 90s when they had music going on there, and Beavis and Butthead, and I guess, what's that other thing, Road Rules or something? But anyways, that reminds me of a simpler time that I won't get into right now. So here's the female Thor. I don't remember anything related to the storyline for this. I just know that it happened. I do need to get back into reading comics though, like as a regular thing, because it's been a long time. What is this? This is just a plain old Spider-Man. He's got the wings thing going on. You can kind of see under his arms in there, right? Maybe, sort of. But yeah, it's just Spider-Man from Homecoming. What, right? Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't like a huge fan of that first movie. Like, the one with Mysterio was alright, though. Then you got this right here. You got Thor Ragnarok, right? That was a pretty good movie. I liked that one. It was, I don't know, because normally, like, Thor isn't really, like, my guy or whatever, but they kind of took a little trip away from the whole, what the first one was. It ended up being alright. Then we got this here, the Iceman. Don't I have two of these? I don't know. Maybe I don't. Because I have this one, the flocked one for sure, because it's in my hand. But I thought that I had bought one before, and then they put out the flocked one, and I was like, well, I want this one instead. I say instead as if I'm going to return the other one. Anyways, here is, what is this? Spider-Man Captain Universe. This was one of the last times when I was actually reading comics, was when they did that whole Spider-Verse thing in 2015? Something like that. And maybe you guys remember earlier this year, it seems like it was forever ago, but when Australia was on fire and they made these so they could make money for koalas or something or other. So that's a pop culture exclusive. So there's that. You got just your standard Deadpool leaping into action, and a whole bunch of Deadpools on the back of it. I mean, there's always a whole bunch of Deadpools. I just bought a Deadpool the other day. What was it? Pirate Deadpool, because Derek was looking for it. And I happened to find one here. Had to check the time to see, how close it is to 6, because that's when the live starts. Zoolander is one of my favorite movies. I remember seeing this in theaters when it came out because, that's the kind of life I was living, I guess, going and seeing movies back then. That and Training Day also. I remember both of those very clearly at whatever movie theater was near Wichita Falls in Texas. So, this right here, this came from McFly KOF himself. The KOF stands for King of Funkos. He might say futures, don't let him lie to you people. So yeah, he gave me this as a thank you for an assist that I had given him on the Bruce Lee thing, yeah. So you got Holiday Hulk, he's got a stocking and a gift in there. I think this is one of those things where I bought it and was probably gonna display it on my desk or something around Christmas time and be festive. So much for that. Alright, and this is, what is this? Just another plain ordinary Spider-Man, right? Nothing too fancy about it, but sometimes that's all you need. Hopefully this stuff's not going to dip too much into the picture, into the frame. This was a Target exclusive. Had to have a friend of mine find this and give me the assist because I was living in New Mexico where the closest Target was super far. And I wasn't just gonna go up there looking for that. I tell you, man, like I've said that New Mexico sucked in the past, and I like to reiterate that when I get the chance. Here's Rhino People. This was actually one of the guys I liked a lot when I was younger, getting into comics and stuff. I don't know, I just thought he was kind of cool. But I do also like animals, so maybe that's part of it. I also like Napoleon Dynamite, so that's why I have this guy here. Again, he used to hang out on the music shelf. I keep saying that, on the movie shelf. But I need to get a new one. If you have any recommendations on a good like shelf for displaying stuff, well, physical media, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just get the same one that broke. Anyway, so you got this here. You got the Hobgoblin. I remember him having a pretty solid... Wait, no, that was Demo Goblin. In Maximum Carnage, I was going to go down that road. But, nope, that was not him. He might have been in there, but Demo Goblin was definitely like the more used one from what I recall. Anyways, Dodgeball was also a movie I liked a lot. So, I bought that guy too. I don't think I got the other dude. I think I just got him. Captain Crunch, right? I do prefer the peanut butter style, but you know, I'm okay with the plain one, but my second up would be the Crunch Berries for sure. None of that other weird stuff. No, I don't think so. Twinkies, growing up in Davenport, Iowa, there was a big factory, Hostess factory, where they had this Twinkie guy painted on there. So seeing that a couple times a week and the whole smell of like the Wonder Bread factories and all that crap down there in that area, it definitely stuck with me. So now, even though I don't really eat Twinkies a whole lot, like they bring back some good memories. Tupac, you know what? I'm not a Tupac fan, right? I'm just gonna put it out there. Like, I've got no problem with some of his songs. I think some of them are pretty dang solid. But when I sit back and I'm like, oh, let me turn some music on, it's never Tupac that I go to. I'm not gonna take anything away from him. I just never gave him the attention, and that might be what it is, but he also never grabbed it later on, so that could be his fault. Anyways, this guy though, totally on board. Rivers Cuomo from Weezer, yes, huge fan of his. Back in the olden days, I used to know how to play a song or two from him. Maybe I still do, I don't know. I'd have to sit down with the old guitar and see. So, this right here, the Notorious B.I.G., he is the guy that I am truly a fan of, for sure, right? So this one, I bought that one for me, and whichever one came out with that, I bought that one for my mom. So this right here, Gerard Way, I'm a big My Chemical Romance fan. I don't know if you know that, but there you go. Now you know. So there's that for you. Also, what? Okay, this was this Loot Crate? Yeah, because I was about to say this had to have been free. Yeah, Assassin's Creed. I got nothing against Assassin's Creed, but I've never really played one. It seems fine, but I was never that guy, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so I don't know if you know him, but I'm a big My Chemical Romance fan, and now you know. One of those, somewhere in there, I have two of, because Amazon messed up on an order, and they were like, I was like, yeah, I didn't get this. So, all right, we'll send you a new one. I'm like, oh, all right, cool. No question, right? This right here, Tiny Tina, she was probably the star of Borderlands 2. Like, hands down, right? When they added her in there, man, I can't remember the name of that expansion, but it was pretty freaking awesome. Morbius was also a guy that was pretty awesome when I got into comics. And there's supposed to be a movie with him. I don't know if it's even started filming or what. I don't know the status of any of those things that people were talking about a long time ago. Here we have Loki, also from the Ragnarok movie. That was I might have to watch that later. It's either on Netflix or it's on Disney Plus, and I have access to both. So, not to brag, but I am living that fancy lifestyle over here. Anyways, here's another Spider-Man. This is the Miles Morales one. So there you go. I don't have really anything to say about that other than that he did make a pretty decent movie. What was that called? The Into the Spider-Verse or Into the Spider-Verse? I forget. But that one. And then we have Gwenpool. I don't remember why, but I really wanted this. And so here it is. You gotta reach for your dreams or something, people. And that's why I have that. I also have this so this was clearly a free one. This is the other Vision, like the older style Vision, right? I'm kind of wondering how that Wanda and Vision thing is going to be, because that sounds like that's going to be pretty good. This guy here, old Uncle Johnny, right? So I don't know how many of you guys follow the Green Lanterns, but he's definitely the best one. Yeah, I mean, he is, right? That's not my opinion, it's just a fact. And then we have this, Butt Stallion. So this was one that I had to have when, I don't remember where this was an exclusive, but last year at some point, this was one that, I guess it was a fall convention exclusive. So that would have been what, New York Comic Con and maybe some other things. Sometimes those things are specific to a certain thing. Sometimes it's just cons in general. That was obviously cons in general. Oh, hey, Iceman, check it out. Remember I was talking about how I thought I had 2 Icemans, men, whatever? I do. Yay me, yeah. Yeah, I got 2 of those things. All right, Baxter Stockman. I think this was a gift also from somebody. If I remember right, it was one of my SDCC friends that just kind of picked that up for me and gave it to me. Let's see, Becky Lynch, the man. Remember that when that was going around? Now she's gonna be a mother and stuff. So she's not quite a man, I guess, but you know, not quite a lady either. She's like a mother now. It's like, I don't know. Anyways, so moving on, you got the Squirrel Girl here. This, I don't know, like I've read some of her stuff. It's pretty entertaining, right? So if you haven't, I would suggest it. And if you have, comment down below on what you thought. So this was an exclusive I picked up a while ago. One of the earlier ones that I picked up actually. And I've never seen this show before until like 3 days ago when they were doing, I don't know, the guy that produced the show. They were celebrating his life or something. I think he's still alive, but they were just celebrating him. And so they had this show on, you know, the Brack show. And I was watching it and I'm like, I have never seen this. And then as it was happening, I was like, I don't know if I want to see this. But there was there's a song that he made, a little cartoon video or whatever, because obviously he's a cartoonist as well. And that, the one about corn, right? Because I do like corn also. And that song kind of just stuck with me. And then I was like, hey, it's the guy from the corn song, right? So here we have Doctor Strange, which is also on my shirt. So this must be the astral plane Doctor Strange or whatever they call that. You know, when he's like out of his body and all that. And here is, apparently I have 2 of these also, because I did have one earlier. Yeah, definitely did. So I don't know why. I don't really remember that happening, but whatever. What is this? Oh, this is Dwight Schrute with his little Dwight Schrute. You can kind of see that down in there, maybe, sort of, kind of. So that's the thing I picked up. I was supposed to give that to somebody, and then it didn't work out, right? So, because like I moved, and so if you know Splash, I'm Drippy. That was supposed to go to him. It just never quite happened. Oh, this is the guy that he was the voice of the Rock dude in Thor Ragnarok, right? And he did some other work in the Marvel universe as well, but I don't know all that other stuff. I just know he was that dude. And then this guy, both of these were from whatever year. Like I said, I went through the Comic-Con line because I was the lucky winner that year. And this guy, I don't know what else he has done, but I know he's done the Saw series. And I know that a lot of people think the Saw series is trash, and I get that. But I'm going to disagree and say that it's not. There's a couple more 2-packs that I overlooked. So this right here, you got the Civil War, Iron Man, Captain America, right? So I remember, man, like that fight scene in Civil War with him and, you know, and Bucky was in there. Iron Man was doing pretty well for himself considering he was outnumbered, you know what I'm saying? But hey, it happens. Then we have this right here. We have Bullseye and Daredevil. So is this from, I don't think this is from anything. I think it's just like your standard comic based things, because yeah, was Bullseye in the Netflix series? I don't think so. If you ever watch that, like a friend of mine, he's in that thing, like getting beat up all the time. So you ever see some like Thai dude that gets beat up a lot? That's probably my friend. Anyway, so Shawn Michaels, right? I don't remember when I got this, but I do remember really wanting it and finding it for a pretty decent deal on eBay. I think I got it for like $20 shipped or something back when I was living in the foreign land, so that was kind of nice. Okay, this, I was like, what is wrong with this? This seems off. It's Jim Halpert, but as Dwight. So there's that. Because I'm looking at it, I'm like, there's got to be more to this. What is this? This is Rocket with Groot, right? You can kind of see he's up there hanging out on the back of him, right? So there's that. We're almost done, people. We're almost done. And then we have Jim Halpert as 3-Hole Punch Jim, right? So remember that, where he had that really over elaborate costume? Okay. How much of this is in the frame? Looks like none. What? Okay, I was like, yeah, this had to have been free too. Yeah, I am 100% sure that I have never seen a Back to the Future movie from end to end. I have the idea of what happens in them, but that's it. Like, yeah, I've just had zero interest. And last, certainly not least, we have Prison Mike, which we were just talking about in like a live I did the other week for, I don't know, sometimes I do those lives where I just sit there and talk about whatever people want to talk about. And I remember Prison Mike being a thing, you know, the whole rule and whatnot. Yeah, so there you go. We're going to end on Prison Mike. All right, however long this video was, I have no idea, but luckily there's not going to be too much editing. And like I said, very certain that there will not be pictures in there. I'll scroll through this, see how that whole thing looks, and then we'll go from there, right? But more than likely, I'll just go with it. I mean, I know me. I've known me for a while now, and I know how I think. So I think we're done here, because I got to get ready for this live that's going to be kicking off in about 30 minutes. So from me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. And eventually, if you're like somebody that likes to see shoe things, bear with me, people. I'll eventually have some. It's just that the whole thing of like them not making any that I want right now, or not selling the ones that I want for the price that I want. It's a mix of both. Anyways, later, people.